best things in life are free, but you can keep them for the birds and bees. Now give me money.
We present G.F. Newman's The Corrupted.
The death and state funeral of Sir Winston Churchill gripped the nation and the world, while Stanley Matthews, the first footballer ever to be knighted by the Queen, gripped football fans. Both passed me by in Brixton Prison, where I was serving 6 months for assaulting a policeman. People tell me I got a result because of the mitigating circumstances of Joey Oldman, my dad, having his teeth pulled out by the Richardsons. They thought he was cheating them, then wouldn't tell them where the money was they thought he was holding from the great train robbery. It helped that one of my bent old Bill, George Fenwick, got some of the charges dropped out. 6 months felt like a lifetime, even if I was doing a bit of work inside, finding useful villains and sending them out to Jack for him to put our own firm together. Ironically, the young policeman who was the cause of this short sentence, Tony Wednesday, would be instrumental in my going away for 30 years with the help of Joey Oldman, my so-called dad. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Tony Wednesday was a rising star in the Metropolitan Police and was going to make a name for himself, along with a lot of money. Strange thing was, I liked him. Why wouldn't I? Tall, athletic, good-looking, with a charming personality. He had the most devious mind of any policeman I'd ever met. Early in his career, he was sent to Bramshill Staff Training College. No one told him what the purpose of this special training was, only that he'd find out with the others who were selected. Perhaps it was to learn how to be more cunning and corrupt. Another irony was that my cousin, John Redfers, was on the same course. He was my Aunt Alice's only son. She had gone off to Manchester and married into the Plymouth Brethren after her husband was killed in the war. As Tony Wednesday was corrupt, so John Redfers was straight, and the two were destined to become rivals.
You're Tony Wednesday, aren't you?
Oh, I admit to nothing, not even when charged.
John Redfers. I remember you came to our street party with PC Watling, our local bobby.
Sergeant Watling. I may have heard of him.
I remember him and you and every detail of what happened. We had a fight.
Do you remember who won?
It was stopped before its conclusion.
So, we got something to settle still?
No, that's long forgotten.
Oh, I thought you said you remember everything. You must be the memory man, John. You know what happened, don't you? His dad thrashed him when he was a nipper for losing an halfpenny. He never forgot it.
I lost my dad in the war.
Ah, well, so did I. Well, at least he didn't come back after doing his duty with my mum, whoever she was. She dumped me in a doorway after I was born.
That's right. PC Watling found you and brought you up.
No, not quite, pal, not quite, but close. He used to visit me in St. Joseph's Orphanage. I learned he was poking a sister there. He's the reason I'm in the job.
I never forget a face, Tony.
Well, then you, my friend, are the perfect policeman.
We're very lucky to be here, you know.
No, I don't believe in luck. It's what you make for yourself, nor in coincidence. Everything that happens has a purpose.
What's the purpose of our meeting up again like this, then?
We don't always know, but it will have one.
What are you doing on this course?
Same as you, I guess. Waiting to be told.
I was invited. The police are paying for me to go to university. In the holidays, I have to do some practical policing.
So you finish university and come back as an inspector, while us poor swats have to do collar to get rank.
I'll do my share of collar. What sport did you elect to do here?
I didn't fancy getting my nose broken or my ears ripped off doing rugby. I opted for fencing.
Ah, so did I.
Then we're rivals again.
Good hit, Wednesday. You're learning fast. You have stamina and good quick responses. If you're interested, we could train you up to try to get you to Olympic standard.
Oh, I like police work better, sir.
No reason you couldn't do both. Carry on, and you, Redvers. I'll look back later.
I need a fag. Not the kind you have in university.
I think you're mixing it up with Eton. Your sort of fags will be bad for your Olympic chances.
Who cares?
You could probably get the police to pay for your training.
It's too much like collar. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I was looking for Superintendent Slipper.
Oh, miss, I think that's him, my fencing partner. What's your name?
Oh, very funny.
I like that. Your mum must have had a good sense of humour, eh? Bye, how very funny. What do you think, John? Should we fight to the death or toss a coin? I'd give her one, all right.
I thought I'd better just check. You're not Superintendent Slipper, are you?
No, I'm sorry.
I don't feel bad about it, John. Slipper looks like an old lag. Oh, very funny. Couldn't possibly fancy him, not with us on offer.
I like older men.
And who should we say was looking for him?
Oh, very funny.
I'd give her more than one, definitely.
You'd get thrown out if they caught you, Tony.
The trick always is not to get caught.
Don't stand to attention for me. I'm Detective Superintendent Jack Slipper, not an army officer. And for those who haven't made it their business to figure out who I am and what I do, I run the Regional Crime Squad. Now, by now, you all know you're here because of your exceptional talent. And together, we're going to change the face of policing and the public perception of policing. Does anyone want to remind me what that is? Too scared, eh? Wednesday.
That we're a bunch of corrupt thugs.
It's not only a perception, it's a fact. Corruption is rotting this institution from the inside, and we're all the poorer for it. You're coming onto my squad because I need a team I can rely on that's not been tainted by corruption. We're not effective against major criminals because of corrupt officers. Well, the time has come to drop the hammer on the Richardsons' torture gang. Even tough guys like the Krays and Jack Braden are scared of them. By the time you're done here, you'll be ready to tackle them single-handed. Stand up, Mr. Wednesday.
It wasn't me, sir, honest.
This man brought down Jack Braden's right-hand man, a vicious little queer called Brian Oldman. What happened to him, Wednesday?
He got 6 months, sir.
He got a result with 6 months. It should have been 6 years, but it's a start. OK, sit down. And in future in the CID, you call senior officers Gov, unless they're detective sergeants, then it's Skipper. During the next few days, I'll have a cup of tea with each of you and get to know you better. Thank you.
I see that worried look upon your face. You've got your troubles, I've got mine.
It's a tall order for any police officer, Tony, much less an inexperienced officer.
Are we going to get dumped in at the deep end, Gov?
Without this new esprit de corps, the Met is lost. You will be supported by hand-picked officers. We need incorruptibility, courage and leadership. If you're not up to the job, now's the time to say so.
That's why I joined the police, Gov. To make a difference.
And we shall, Tony. We'll turn the force around. Do you know how much tea I've drunk over the past couple of days?
Yeah, starts to swill around in your stomach, too much of it.
Pint would have been much better for getting to know you all, but I'd end up pissed. You know, I knew your sponsor, Sergeant Watling. Started as a constable on his patch.
He's retired now, Gov. He married a sister from the orphanage. She gives him hell. Spends most of his time on his allotment.
Perhaps that's why I stayed single.
You and the super now bosom buddies?
Ooh, not half, oh, very funny. About a month I'll be running the Met.
Oh, very funny.
Do you want to come for a drink with us?
Who's us? You and Mr. Slipper?
John Redvers and me. He fancies you as well.
But doesn't have your social skills.
He was raised by the Plymouth Brethren.
Who are they when they're at home?
They're about 2 rungs above the sisters at St. Joseph's who brought me up.
You never let anyone get a slight advantage. Am I supposed to feel more sorry for you than John?
Oh, I'd think less of you if you did.
Well, it seems to me you only think well of yourself.
I think well of you. Oh, very funny. You know your own mind. You're not a pushover. I will keep pushing.
If I go for a drink, I insist on paying for my own.
I'm the old-fashioned type. Despite the so-called swinging 60s, I don't know, I feel uncomfortable when a woman pays for her own share, especially as you're not expensive, drinking halves.
Ooh, have I found a weakness?
Yeah. Let's go and find John.
Don't make sense, got to keep on pushing.
Do you believe all that guff Slipper was giving us about being incorruptible?
Can the police really be as bad as he says?
I don't think he'd make it up, Sonia.
Yeah, but how are we going to get a decent car and a holiday on the Costa Packet if we don't take backhanders?
Are you testing us, Tony?
You're too untrusting, though, very funny.
You know, you could call me Sonia now.
The super wants people who can help eradicate dishonesty.
Oh, nice theory, John. It's like eradicating poverty.
It's a good starting point.
Being on the RCS is like being given the keys to the bank.
Oh, don't listen to him, John. He's winding you up.
Corruption diminishes us all.
Only if we get caught. We're the new elite, smart enough not to get caught.
I can't be doing with this. I've got some revision to do. See ya.
Oh, he takes himself very seriously. Couldn't he see you were sending him up?
Oh, was I? Perhaps you should have made your excuses and left.
Oh, you testing me now? I'll decide when I go and with whom.
Sounds hopeful.
Don't you get your hopes up too high. I'm a long time making up my mind. I've nagging I was over buying a new pair of flares.
You're going to drive me mad.
Then why'd you keep trying?
Well, Sonia, apart from your blonde hair, startling blue eyes, kissable mouth and slim body, the fact that you won't have sex with me makes me keener.
You find me a challenge. I'll remember to resist.
But there will come a point where I'll stop trying. I better go and sharpen my snout, get it deeper into the trough.
During the time he was at the police college, John Redford's had an increasing dilemma. He was coming to admire Superintendent Slipper and even see him as a father figure, as he dropped in on lectures and read the written work of his protégés. All the while, he was aware of Jack Braden and what his kind meant to the governor. He didn't need the lecturers to tell him where Slipper was when he disappeared for a few days. His mother had told him. Although she had renounced that part of the family as forcefully as she had renounced Satan, she always seemed to know what they were up to. She always told him it was his duty to smite evil, regardless of what raiment it wore. John Redford's had no difficulty with that concept, but he was lonely and had a strange yearning for his extended family. Perhaps he thought he could save our souls. Suddenly, the trial before Judge Melford Stevenson was over, and Superintendent Slipper returned a different man. He was fuming with anger that Jack had walked away not guilty. This only increased John Redford's dilemma.
This was a judge we always thought was the policeman's friend. These crims get fancy lawyers who cast aspersions on police integrity, and this judge lets jurors believe them. The police have no one to blame but themselves. With your help, we'll make sure we get back to the status quo, where a policeman's word is sacrosanct. And we'll nail this Jack Braden. Study him. Make him your #1 target.
Sir, Gov, jury found him not guilty. Don't we have to accept that?
You accept it if you want. I won't. The jury was wrong.
Then don't we have to change the law?
We don't want a police state, John. We have to make sure that when we go to court with him next time, our evidence is rock solid.
I'm sorry, Gov, but although I'm sure Braden has committed many crimes, he was found not guilty by 12 of his peers. I can't dismiss them or their judgment.
I'm not asking you to. Just get it right next time.
But now we're targeting him.
'Cause we know he's at it. Look, John, is something else worrying you?
No, sir. Gov. Gov. Can I have a word?
You've had 6 already, son. You look like you're about to shit yourself.
I might have to leave your squad, sir. I might have to leave the police altogether.
After we spent all this money on you?
The fact is, I know Jack Braden.
I see. Are you compromised by him?
I don't think so, sir.
You don't think so? You must know if you are, man.
He's my uncle, sir. My mother's brother.
Well, that's pretty damn compromising, Constable. Do you know anything about Braden's corrupt illegal activities?
No, sir, I don't. My mother and I went to live in Manchester when I was 6.
You need to be more than 300% sure of your position if I was to trust you.
I know nothing more about him than I read in the newspapers.
This information is not on your record. Why is that?
I didn't think it was relevant, sir.
You didn't, did you? Well, at some point in the future, that information will come out. Or Braden will try to compromise you. You know, you're the brightest and cleverest in this group, but blood is thicker than water. I can't risk being compromised in any way. No, I'm sorry.
I understand, sir.
Is it true they caught you at it, John?
Well, it's not even funny, Tony.
Well, then what's the reason you're out?
I really can't say I'm sorry.
Well, is it because I keep beating you at everything?
I'm going back to university.
Oh.
I promise you, when I've got my degree, I'll dedicate myself to putting Jack Braden and his gang where they belong.
You'll be lucky. We'll have nabbed them all by then.
Oh, we'll walk you to the minibus.
I'd rather just go. Well, see you around, as they say.
Not if we see you first, sucker.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Poor John. He was so upset.
Not half as upset as I'll be if I don't get in your pants before we leave.
You know how to treat a girl, don't you, Tony?
You're not a girl, son. You're a plonk. If you're not careful, the swinging 60s will have swung right past you with this single-minded dedication to villains.
I feel pretty upset about John going.
Oh, you'll get over it.
Well?
Well?
There's a spare bed in here. Keys in the lock.
Months after his torture at the hands of the Richardsons, every waking thought Joey had about them made his head and face and jaw ache all over again. Even taking out the false teeth he now wore reminded him painfully of what they'd done. They'd pulled out 5 of his teeth with pliers and broken another 3 in the process, trying to get him to tell where the money was that he'd been holding from Bruce Reynolds' share of the great train robbery. How they knew, they didn't say. How he had survived without telling them, not even Joey knew. But he would sooner give up an arm than his money. The pain must have been excruciating. Bruce Reynolds had got his money back. Well, most of his share that Joey hadn't yet been able to convert into shares and legitimate bonds. He'd gone off to live in Mexico with his family, but like most villains, he'd go through his money and be back. The Richardsons had somehow got a line on Emil Savundra and got a lot of the forged bonds he had, and so put the kibosh on the bent banker raising money on them for Joey's office development. They used the bonds for leveraged investments in South Africa, where they had a lot of business interests. It was that what gave Joey the idea about how to get even with them. He knew his pain wouldn't subside until he did. It was to involve a former business partner of theirs in South Africa called Johnny Bradbury, who had fallen out with Charlie Richardson. Jack Braden called in on Joey most days to say how they had to hurt the Richardsons. But Joey knew more violence to them wouldn't hurt them where it mattered.
They were well out of order doing what they'd done, Joey. They got to be taught a lesson.
Jack, you mean well, but it's painful being reminded.
But the pain will go when we do them.
You missing Brian or something, are you?
I'm just doing what's right.
I'd sooner pay him back my way.
How's that? Nick a few quid off them, that won't hurt.
If you do something, Jack, you'll have to be so very cunning about it. Yes, hurt him if you want, but set yourself up with a perfect alibi first. Otherwise you'll join Brian in prison.
Well, I got it all figured out. Wally Virgo's been made head of the serious crime squad. Bill Moody, head of the pawn squad's laying on a party for him at the club.
Is that wise?
We'll have lots of brasses there with their tits out.
Oh, Jack, no one's going to admit being at that sort of party. There's no alibi.
Well, what do you think it should be?
Make it a party that you can bring your wife or girlfriend to. Get your high-profile friends there. People like Boothby and Dryburgh. And then send someone to strike at the Richardsons.
How can I get those sort of people?
Brian could get those sort of people to attend.
Brian's now in Wandsworth prison.
Perhaps you should wait until he gets out. Won't be long before he is.
Yeah, that's right. Let Charlie and Eddie get a false sense of security and then whoop! When we do them, I guarantee your jaw will stop aching.
He's feeling better already.
I'll pop down and visit Brian. See what the score is.
Hi, Brian.
Why, you're popular with some of them prisoners' wives.
Why not, Jack? When you see what most of them have got to look forward to. I'll bring a bit of sparkle to their lives. And their husbands aren't threatened by me.
You must be the best-dressed prisoner in here, Brian.
And the best fed the cakes to bring me.
And what's the food like?
Oh, it's lousy. And the company, mostly. But you have time to sit and think.
What'd you think about?
Wanking, mostly.
Oh, leave off. There's kids in here, they might hear you.
You ever read Nietzsche?
And what's he write? Murder stories?
He pointed out that people will risk their lives in order to promote their power. They'll fight or go to war.
I could have told him that.
Some men are superheroes, ready to die young for power and greatness. What does it matter if you die at 27 when you've owned the world?
What is this bollocks?
He says joy and suffering are inseparable. We gotta get power and greatness, Jack.
We ain't exactly mugs, Brian.
We gotta have the best criminal gang ever. It's all in here waiting for us.
What, these old lags? They're all gone, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Not if they have superheroes leading them when they're out.
Well, we can bung them a few quid to tide them over. We ain't got work for them.
Mate, you're missing the point, Jack. Give them a few quid to tide them over. We've got our firm. I'm going to send you someone who'll whack the Richardsons for Joey.
Well, I got plans for that. We just need to set up an alibi, Brian.
This is someone who can get near to them. Nietzsche.
Is that what he's called?
No, he's Denny Jones. Gets out a few weeks before me. I'll take care of him. And the others I send you. Be prepared to lead them, Jack.
Sounds good, Brian. As long as you don't start thinking it's your firm. Did your mum tell you? I got Leah back.
Yeah, all good news. So pleased for you both.
She was pugged up in a caravan in Cornwall. She looks terrific. The holiday did her good.
Just take care of these cons.
Hang on, Snoopy, Snoopy, hang on. Hang on, Snoopy, Snoopy, hang on.
Jack, this geezer slipped past me. Where is he?
Oh, where?
Here he is.
How'd you do that?
Being a bit slippery, Pongo. It is, Pongo. Brian told me about you.
You old Bill. You look like old Bill.
That's the game. I'm Denny Jones. Brian sent me.
Well, you don't look like you got out of clink, Denny. How'd you get that tan?
I had a south-facing cell.
You taking the piss, Denny?
Nah, straight up, Jack. I had a top bunk. I kept moving in case I got stripes across my face.
I don't like smart Alex. So what'd you do when you're not inside getting a tan?
Armed robbery. If it moves and it's got money in it.
How come you palled out with Brian? You and Iron?
Nah, Brian's a diamond. He pulled me out of some bother with the screws. He's gone running around like blue-ass flies. Really knows how to get into their heads. He's terrific.
Well, just remember, it's me what runs this firm, not Brian.
He said you got some bother with the Richardsons.
Nothing I can't handle.
I'll help. I hate them.
What'd they do to you?
Nothing. They put electrodes on my kid brother's balls to get him to tell where some money was he'd had from a Securical van.
That's Charlie and Eddie's trademark.
Sent my brother off his head. Now he's in Broadmoor.
Yeah, we can't let the dogs live.
When Brian gets out, I'll do him.
How we get near them?
They think we're mates. I can't wait.
Well, it won't be long now. Why aren't you dressed? You can't go in a nightdress and no makeup.
I'm not going to your party. It's a bunch of thugs.
It's not like that. These are respectable people. There'll be some lords there and politicians.
People you've made dirty like me.
What are you saying that for? That smart dress I bought you and some makeup, you look terrific, Leah.
I can't. Please, don't make me.
I want you there with me looking dolled up. It ain't much too hard.
Please.
Stop shaking like that. What's wrong with you? I thought you was well after your little holiday. 1 minute you're lethargic, the next you're ranting. I told ya. Brian won't even speak to you.
You just don't get it, do you? You don't. You never will.
Stop it, Leah. Stop giving me the ache. You break anything else, I'll give you worse than Brian ever done.
Why don't you just kill me and make my life easier?
For what use you are, you might as well be dead.
Then why don't you let me go? Why?
Leah.
Why?
Leah! You gotta understand. I ain't ever gonna let you go.
Then I'll kill myself.
No! Leah! I'll kill you first. Look at you. Look at you. been a long time. Too long.
No, Jack! Please,
Memories of a love you never meant.
Very smart dinner suit, Joey.
Yeah. Bought it from the widow of a tenant. He'd only worn it once.
The new teeth look the business.
At least these ones fit. Where's Leah? She here, Jack? Got a message for her from Catherine.
She's not well. I put her to bed. Where's Cath? I thought she was coming.
She's not too good either. Been overdoing it a bit.
But it's Brian's party. That Margaret Courtney's here, so's Lord Boothby. Everyone is.
Well, she's been working non-stop for the Tory party, trying to cover up the block Brian's made on her copybook.
Yeah, she said she wants to get him out of this life, run your properties. Why would he want to do that? He's got power here. You heard of Nietzsche.
Catherine sees it as a way for him to redeem himself.
Well, my sister pokes her nose in where it's not wanted. What's she want with my Leah?
Think she wants to meet her for tea.
Putting ideas in her head. I don't want it. Tell her.
You're not only stupid, Denny, you're drunk as well. And tomorrow you'll still be stupid and probably just as drunk.
Well, look at you. You're just a big fairy who's scared to fight.
Yeah, unlucky, son. Now you're making a nuisance of yourself. Take him to the gents' pongo. Put his head down and loose, sober him up.
Come on, Denny. Let's get you out.
Get off me, you black bastard!
Black eye is. And a bastard for sure.
I don't know why Jack allows ex-cons around decent people.
Goodness, I hope you've not entirely mended your ways, Brian.
You all right now, Brian?
I'm fine. Denny Jones was too drunk to punch hard.
No, I meant after your stay at Her Majesty's pleasure.
Well, I don't think it was a pleasure for either of us.
How witty. Just like your clever father. How could the government learn from the prison experience?
Some of them would have to be in prison for a short while to see what it's like.
The way some are behaving in Harold Wilson's government could be for a long while.
Prison could be counted a success here, Margaret. This dear boy was studying Nietzsche.
You do get a lot of time to sit and read. I'd better go and check Denny hasn't passed out and blocked the toilet. Excuse me.
Just like his father, Bob.
Isn't he charming?
What? It's only Brian.
You all set, Denny?
Apart from the shooter. Jack?
Right here. Sticky tape on the handle so you don't leave no prints.
Charlie and Eddie are definitely down at Mr. Smith's club, are they?
That's the word we got. They're minding a shop for some mugs out of Birmingham.
I'll try and pot the two of them.
If you can, there's a bonus for you.
Nah. This is my kid brother, Jack.
We'll make sure your alibi's sound. And the car's waiting. Get back as soon as you can. Back through the window here, yeah?
Give him a boost out, Pongo.
Good luck, then. Good luck.
Right, now flush. Pretend we wasn't there.
Is your friend all right now, Brian?
He will be when he sobers up. Are you enjoying the party, Margaret?
Oh, very much. I must just have a word with Joseph. Have to somehow get your dear mother to ease up or she'll wear herself out. That's a very fetching jacket, Joseph. Fits you like a glove.
How lovely to see you, Margaret. Your ensemble is as perfect as ever.
Oh, you kind man. Can we step over here and talk? I have to see you. Soon.
I'll try to make tomorrow at the hotel.
I can't wait. What about tonight? Colonel is away. You could come to the house.
Is that wise?
If you don't, Joseph, I'll burst. Say you will.
Of course I will.
As soon as we can reasonably get away.
I just have to wait and see someone here first.
Denny, how are you, son? Didn't see you come in.
I was having a drink with Peter Hennessy.
That slag. Don't know why we let him in here.
So where's that poncing brother of yours?
He's here. You're a ponce, son.
Nah, you're all ponces. What you done to my brother?
He's got a gun, Charlie.
No, you don't, son.
Man of means by no
Joseph, I got scared in case you wouldn't come to the house after all.
It's a bit risky. You sure it's all right?
Yes, come here. Kiss me, Joseph. I want you to kiss me all over. No, not here. Let's go to my room. If you smoke, Joseph, you could have a well-earned cigarette.
Might leave a telltale smell in here.
Oh, the Colonel never comes in here. He has his own room.
Don't you any?
Not for a very long while. Oh, Joseph. It's so wonderful being in my very own bed with you like this. Love to wake up in the morning with you beside me.
Steady on, old dear. I have to get back or Catherine might start wondering.
Perhaps she'd be more suited to the Colonel. They have the same needs, it seems, or absence of them.
I told you at the start, Margaret. I wouldn't leave Catherine.
No, of course not. You're so sensible, Joseph. We don't want any whiff of scandal. We'd only come back on the party, especially now Ted Heath's been elected leader.
Perhaps Catherine and I should think about separate bedrooms. We got plenty of rooms.
I'd feel so much less jealous of her if that happened.
I'll best get going. Might have to slip back to the club.
Not yet, my darling. Make love to me just one more time to keep me going through all the long hours without you. Yeah.
I got you, baby. They say our love won't pay the rent, for it's earned, our money's all been spent. I guess that's so we don't have a plot, but at least...
Are you fully recovered now, Mr. Jones?
I think I made a bit of a fool of myself, Sir Booby.
No, Bob. And I think we've all done that in our time. Ah, Brian, thank you. Very nice party.
Bye, Bob. Thanks for coming.
Did we have a result, Danny?
It was all a bit confused, Jack. Everyone shouting the odds.
Did our two dogs go down all right?
Well, someone copped it for sure. It was bedlam when the shooter came out.
They'll have got a message all right. Joey will be pleased. Where is he?
Slipped out when that posh bird went.
I'd say he'd be well pleased, all right. Here. Let's drop some of these. Keep it going till Thursday.
You get hooked on them things, Jack?
Don't be a mug, Brian. I'm too smart for that.
Because of the highly public nature of the shooting at Mr. Smith's club in Catford, the police had to take action. Detective Superintendent Jack Slipper led the team that targeted the Richardsons. Some said this was the turning point in their demise, and certainly Jack swaggered around taking a lot of the credit. Nothing much else was happening in the world or this country according to the newspapers, apart from the Beatles getting an MBE and US troops pouring into Vietnam. A US astronaut called Edward White walked in space. Myra Hindley and Ian Brady were nicked for killing children in what was forever to become known as the Moors murders. The newspapers, along with everyone else in the country, wanted them hanged. Meanwhile, Jack Slipper and his team were quietly working away on the gangs. Ironically, George Fennick, recently promoted to the Pawn Squad, was become part of that elite team of incorruptible detectives. How he managed to bring that off, he didn't say. But Joey's information about a one-time Richardson associate in South Africa was to play a big part in their downfall.
Right. We all know why we're here. It's time to bring down the hammer on these thugs. You've all been doing a lot of work on their criminal associates. People who have fallen out with the Richardsons, people who might be persuaded to give evidence against them. So who's going first? Tony?
Yeah, we found a villain who was in Mr. Smith's club at the time of the shooting, Peter Hennessy.
Is he going to come over to us?
No, not quite, Gov. Well, not yet, anyway. Like most of them, he wants someone else to go first. He did give us the name of the person who did the shooting, Denny Jones.
What does this Mr. Jones have to say for himself, George?
We might know that when we find him. He's gone to ground, Gov.
Then let's get our spades out and dig him up. Make that a priority.
Why am I being brought in like this? If I'm arrested, I want to phone my brief.
Oh, shut up, Mr. Jones. You know well enough why you're under arrest. We just want some answers from you. Tony?
We've been reliably informed that you were involved in the shooting at Mr. Smith's club in Catford when Richard Hart was shot.
Who told you that, Fanny? Some grass you're paying?
We didn't exactly expect you to put your hand up, Denny.
You're way off the mark. I certainly have no liking for the Richardsons. I wish it was them what was shot.
Was that who you went there with the intention of shooting?
You old enough to be a policeman, son?
Old enough and man enough to put you away, Denny. And who said anything about the Richardsons?
Well, they was there, according to the newspapers. They was mining the club.
Where were you, if not there?
I was at another club, owned by Jack Braden. It was a party, funnily enough, given in honour of another old Bill, Wally Virgo.
Well, that makes life interesting.
Well, especially as half the guests were old Bill.
Then you'll have plenty of witnesses to support your alibi, Denny.
I'd say, Mr. Fenwick, Lord Boothby was there. He had a conversation with me and a Tory party lady called Margaret Courtney.
Then we best have a full list of names and check them out.
Well, you don't have to have second sight to have guessed how that would have come out, Gov.
People like Lord Boothby are supposedly our betters, Tony. They help run the country.
Well, if they're all as naive as he is, sir, God help the country.
There's no doubt it's going to the dogs under the current government, and I don't suppose Ted Heath will do much better if he gets a go. The likes of the Richardsons would have us on the slippery slope even faster. We can't let it happen.
Do you want us to check out the other alibi witnesses?
What's the point? The club was half full of corrupt policemen by the sound of it, and a whole bunch of toffs who don't know the smell of shit.
Well, it's a pity that lying bugger Jones didn't shoot the Richardsons. It would have saved the taxpayers a lot of money.
We mustn't allow ourselves to think like that, Tony, tempting as it is. We have to bring them down fairly by superior mental dexterity.
What about this old Richardson associate in South Africa that DCI Fenwick Snout came up with, Johnny Bradbury?
Is it worth a trip out there?
Well, he's been convicted of murder and barring appeals, he'll hang. Maybe someone could have a word with the authorities and do a deal for him.
If we could and get him to give evidence for his life. I'll talk to the Deputy Assistant Commissioner. We might be onto something there. You have a passport, Tony?
No, sir. I never had any reason to go out of the country.
Yeah, we'll get one. Just in case the DAC can persuade the South African authorities to do a deal.
The small compensation for all the police activity that was going into nicking the Richardsons was that we got an easier time. No one came knocking on our door, apart from the occasional detective trying to get us to give evidence against them. Of course, Jack thought this was all his doing, and that he was going to be king of the heap. Meanwhile, he was becoming more and more unstable. Anything set him off, and the uppers and the downers he was swallowing like Smarties wasn't helping. I loved the life, but it was plain to see it wasn't going to carry on for much longer with Jack acting the way he was. Pongo was the only one who could pacify him, and even he was worried. I got a call from Pongo that Jack was pilled up and was on his way round to my place after a gun.
Where is it, Brian? I need that gun. Where are you in it?
I don't have a gun, Jack. What do you want with a shooter?
We're going to shoot Paul Raymond, teach him a lesson. We'll take him out to the pig farm at Stoke Poges and pop him.
Well, what sort of lesson is that if he's dead?
He'll learn others. Help me search Pongo. Find his gun.
Where, Jack? He says he don't have one.
Calm down, Jack. Paul Raymond weighs on each week good as gold. Through Jimmy Humphreys.
Then Jimmy Humphreys is nicking from us. We'll pop them both.
Oh, Jack, this is nonsense. What have you been swallowing to make you so crazy? Take him home, Pongo. We can't be on the street like this.
Come on, Jack.
Get off, Pongo. I ain't one of your fairies, Brian. Give me a shooter.
I said no.
I've got to find a shooter. I've got to get him.
What can I do, bro?
Knock him out if you have to, before he gets himself nicked.
I can't stay long, Brian. Superintendent Slipper keeps us all at it.
I was going to point out a famous playwright, George. Joe Wharton over there.
Is it?
He wrote Entertaining Mr. Sloane. Yeah, I saw him interviewed on the telly. Complete maniac.
Like your uncle. Was he cracking up, Brian?
I think he is, George.
He threatened Drury the other day.
Yeah, I heard. What was it about? Anything?
He reckons Drury and Paul Raymond and the Krays are nicking his money.
Drury came in and addressed our squad yesterday about your little firm. He said the Richardsons were about to go. And you lot were next.
Is that about to happen, George?
It looks on the cards. Now they've got Johnny Bradbury back from South Africa. He's got a lot to say about the Richardsons. But this is the killer, Brian. Drury warned us to be on the lookout for any corrupt policeman who might try to help us.
Did he keep a straight face?
He said you were terrorising respectable businessmen in the West End.
Like who?
Mostly club owners. He told us not to bother with them as witnesses, as they wouldn't be reliable.
I hope you pointed out it could be well involved nicking Jack. Now, a lot of old Bill might have to go as well.
That's not how Hairpin Drury sees it. He told me afterwards, we can't be nicked. Who's going to believe a criminal against the word of a policeman?
It depends how many are saying it, George.
There's the rub, Brian. I gotta go.
It was becoming increasingly clear that Ken Drury was as mad as Jack. Perhaps he was popping pills as well, believing he was untouchable because people believed the word of policeman put him on another planet. Maybe I should have read the writing on the wall. Got out, a clean break from Jack. Why I didn't, I wasn't sure. What would I have got out to? An office job with Joey? I liked the lifestyle I had. It was as addictive as any drug, one I couldn't break out of despite being possibly life-threatening. Nietzsche's will to power didn't seem to take account of that, or what to do about the emptiness of life without power. The irony was that getting away from Jack at that point wouldn't have made any difference to the predicament I find myself in now. It would be a long while before I got the chance to get even with either Joey or Tony Wednesday.
That's what I want, yeah.
In G.F. Newman's The Corrupted, Jerry Oldman was played by Toby Jones, Cath Oldman by Denise Gough, Brian Oldman, Joe Armstrong, and Jack Braden by Luke Allen Gale. Leah was Jasmine Hyde, Tony Wednesday, Alec Newman, Superintendent Slipper, Mark Perry, John Redvers, Paul Reddy, Pongo, Chinawadu, D.I. Fennick, Theo Fraser-Steele, Denny Jones, Will Adamsdale, Margaret Courtney, Vanessa Kirby, Bob Boothby, Paul Jesson, Charlie Richardson, Patrick Marlowe, and Sonia, Laura Molyneux, with Ross Kemp as the narrator. G.F. Newman's The Corrupted was produced and directed by Clive Brill and is a Brill production for BBC Radio 4.